Today lesson how to use do versus make in English. Learn English with Real Conversations podcast hosts, James and Olivia.
Hello, and welcome back to Learn English with Real Conversations, the podcast where we take the confusing bits of English and turn them into something you can actually use tomorrow morning. I'm James.
And I'm Olivia. And James, before we even start, I have to say, today's topic is one that I get asked about more than almost anything else.
Let me guess. Phrasal verbs.
No.
Prepositions.
Close, but no. It's do and make.
Oh. The classic. The one that makes intermediate learners want to throw their textbooks across the room.
Exactly. I had a student last week, lovely guy, really advanced vocabulary, great pronunciation, and he looked me dead in the eye and said, "I need to make my homework." And I had to stop the lesson.
Make my homework. Laughs. See, that sentence is completely logical if you think about it in a lot of other languages. You're producing something. You're creating a piece of paper with answers on it. It feels like make.
It really does. But in English, we say, do your homework. And that one tiny word choice is the difference between sounding natural and sounding like you're translating word for word in your head.
So that's exactly what we're doing today, no pun intended.
Laughs, there it is.
We're going to break down do versus make in a way that actually sticks. Not just a list of rules to memorize and forget by tomorrow, but a real system, a way of thinking about these two verbs so that when you're in a real conversation, the right word just comes out.
And we've got real dialogue examples, we've got the sneaky exceptions that break the rules, because English always has exceptions.
Always.
And at the end, we'll do a little practice round together, live, so you can test yourself before you even finish listening.
So grab a coffee, grab a notebook if you're the note-taking type, and let's get into it.
Okay, so let's start with the foundation. At the most basic level, what's the difference between do and make?
Right, so here's the way I explain it to my students. Make is about creating something. You're producing a new thing that didn't exist before. A cake, a decision, a mistake, a plan, these are all things that are brought into existence.
So make has this sense of construction, or creation, or production.
Exactly. Think of a factory. A factory makes cars. It's taking raw materials and turning them into a finished product.
I love that image, actually, the factory. Keep that in your head, listeners. Factories make things.
And then do is different. Do is about performing an action, completing a task, or engaging in an activity, often without necessarily producing a physical, specific object.
So do is more general. It's about the action itself, not the result.
Right. If make is the factory, do is more like the daily grind. The tasks. The work. You do the dishes. You do your job. You do exercise.
And here's a trick that helps a lot of my students. Do is often used with general or unspecified activities, work in general, while make is used when you're producing something specific and countable.
That's a good rule of thumb, though like we said, there are exceptions, and we'll absolutely get to those, because English loves to break its own rules.
It really does. Okay, should we start with some categories?
Let's do it. See, I did it again.
Laughs, you can't stop. Alright, let's talk about do first. I want to give our listeners some really solid categories, because once you see the pattern, it becomes so much easier.
Category number 1, work, jobs, and tasks in general.
So this is things like, do the housework, do the ironing, do the shopping, do the cooking. Wait, actually, hold on. Do we say do the cooking?
We do, actually. I'll do the cooking, you do the cleaning. It's a bit informal, but very common when you're dividing up chores.
Good catch. Okay, continuing, do the laundry, do the dishes, do your homework, do a job, do some work.
Right, and notice something here, these are all activities related to duty, or things you're responsible for. Chores. Tasks. Obligations.
Exactly. Category number 2, general, unspecified activities.
This is a big one. When you don't know exactly what someone is doing, or you're speaking generally, you use do. Like, what are you doing this weekend?
Not what are you making this weekend, unless you're specifically talking about, say, baking or crafting.
Right. What are you doing tonight? What do you do for a living? I didn't do anything special. These are all general, vague references to activity.
And that leads nicely into category 3, things ending in thing, like something, anything, nothing, everything.
Oh, this is a great pattern to remember. I have nothing to do today. Did you do anything interesting? I'll do everything I can to help.
It's almost automatic, thing words pair with do, pretty much always.
Pretty much always, yeah. Category 4, repeated or habitual actions, especially with sports and exercise, but careful here, because sports actually splits between do, play, and go, which is its own whole headache.
Oh, don't even get me started on that one. Maybe a future episode?
Definitely a future episode. But for now, with do, we use it for individual sports and exercise activities. Do yoga, do karate, do gymnastics, do aerobics, do exercise.
Notice these are often solo activities, or martial arts, or fitness related.
Right, versus play, for team sports with a ball, play football, play basketball, and go, for activities ending in, go running, go swimming, go skiing.
But that's a whole separate episode, like you said. Let's keep it to do and make for today.
Fair. Category 5, business and favors. Do business with someone. Do someone a favor. Do your best.
Oh, do your best is such a common one. Just do your best on the exam. I did my best, but it wasn't enough.
And do good, as in, to have a positive effect, to be beneficial. Eating vegetables does you good. Different from make good, which is a whole other idiom meaning to succeed or fulfill a promise.
See, this is where it starts to get spicy.
Laughs, spicy grammar.
Okay, one more category for do, research, studies, and academic or professional tasks. Do research. Do a degree. Do an internship. Do a course.
Right, I'm doing a master's degree in linguistics, not making a master's degree.
And do an experiment, do a test, do an exam, although in British English, you'll also hear sit an exam, which is a nice alternative if you want to sound extra natural.
Ooh, good tip. Okay, I think that's a solid foundation for do. Should we move to make?
Let's make the move. See, now I'm doing it.
Laughs, it's contagious.
Okay, make. Let's go back to that factory image, producing, creating, constructing.
Category 1, physical creation. This is the most intuitive one. Make a cake, make a sandwich, make a dress, make furniture, make a model, make a fire.
These are all tangible, physical objects that come into existence because of the action.
Right. If you can picture a thing at the end, a cake, a chair, a fire burning, that's a strong signal for make.
Category 2, and this one trips people up constantly, communication-related actions. Make a phone call, make a comment, make a suggestion, make a promise, make an excuse, make a joke, make an announcement, make a point.
This one is tricky because you might think, I'm not producing a physical object here, so why make? But think about it, you're producing something abstract. A promise. A joke. A suggestion. You're generating it from nothing.
That's the key, right? Make isn't only for physical objects, it's for anything that's created, physical or abstract.
Exactly. So, make a decision. You're not holding a decision in your hand, but you're creating it. It didn't exist, and now it does.
Category 3, related to that, mental processes and choices. Make a decision, make a choice, make up your mind, make an assumption, make a judgment.
And here's a really common student mistake: do a decision. You'll hear it constantly from Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, French speakers, because in those languages, the verb for do is often used for both.
Right, hacer una decision in Spanish literally translates to do a decision, but in English, it's always make a decision.
Always. No exceptions there, thankfully.
Category 4, money and business outcomes. Make money, make a profit, make a loss, make a fortune, make a living.
He makes a lot of money in finance. The company made a huge profit last quarter. I make my living as a freelance writer.
Category 5, mistakes and achievements, which is a strange pairing, but stick with us. Make a mistake, make an error, make progress, make an effort, make an improvement.
So even negative outcomes, like mistakes, use make, because a mistake is something you produce, it comes into existence through your action.
And positive ones too, make progress, make an effort, make an improvement. All things that are generated, built up, created over time.
Category 6, relationships and social connections. Make friends, make an enemy, make a connection, make peace.
I made a lot of friends when I moved to London. Not did a lot of friends, please, never say that.
Laughs, please, listeners, never say that.
And category 7, our last one for make, noise and reactions. Make a noise, make a sound, make a mess, make a scene, make a fuss.
The kids were making so much noise upstairs. Please don't make a mess in the kitchen. She made a scene at the restaurant when they got her order wrong.
These are all situations where something is being produced, noise, mess, drama, even if it's not a physical object you can hold.
Right. And I think that's the mental shift we want listeners to make. Pun very much intended this time.
Laughs, own it.
Okay, now for the part 1. Know a lot of our listeners are waiting for the exceptions. Because if English followed its own rules all the time, this would be a much shorter episode.
Right, and honestly, this is where a lot of learners get frustrated. They learn the rule, they feel confident, and then native speakers say something that seems to completely break it.
So let's go through some of the big ones. First up, make the bed.
Yes. This one confuses people because based on our categories, you'd expect to do the bed, right? It sounds like a chore, like housework.
Exactly, it feels like it belongs with do the dishes or do the laundry. But no, in English, it's always make the bed, meaning to tidy the sheets and blankets after sleeping.
It's just one of those fixed expressions you have to memorize. There's no deeper logic, or, well, maybe the logic is that you're creating a neat, finished appearance.
Maybe, but honestly, at a certain point, you just have to accept it and move on.
Next exception, do good versus make good.
Oh yes, we touched on this earlier. Do good means to have a positive, beneficial effect, like, volunteering does a lot of good for the community. But make good is an idiom meaning to fulfill a promise or to succeed after difficulty. He made good on his promise to pay her back.
Two completely different meanings, same two words, just rearranged.
Classic English. Next one, do time versus make time.
Ooh, this is a fun pair. Do time is an informal expression meaning to serve a prison sentence. He did 5 years for fraud.
Whereas make time means to find or create space in your schedule for something. I need to make time to see my grandmother more often.
Completely different contexts, but they sound almost like they could be confused if you're not careful.
Definitely worth highlighting. Another one, do well versus make well. Actually, we don't say make well at all, that's just a trap. Do well means to succeed or perform well. She did really well on her exam. There's no equivalent, make well.
Right, good catch. Sometimes the exception is just this phrase doesn't exist, don't try to force it.
Laughs, yes, exactly. And here's one more, make do. This is a phrasal expression meaning to manage with what you have, even if it's not ideal. We didn't have enough chairs, so we made do with cushions on the floor.
That one's interesting because it actually combines both words. Make do, it looks like it should mean something about creating an action, but it's really its own fixed idiom.
Right, and I think that's a great segue into idioms in general, because there are dozens of fixed expressions with do and make that don't follow the categories we described, they just have to be learned individually, almost like vocabulary items on their own.
Should we run through a few of the most useful ones?
Let's do it.
Okay, starting with do idioms. First, that will do. Meaning something is sufficient, good enough. Add a little more salt, okay, that will do.
Next, do away with something, meaning to eliminate or get rid of it. The company did away with its old dress code policy.
Do without, to manage without having something. We'll have to do without the car this week, it's in the shop.
Do someone in, informal, meaning to exhaust someone completely. That hike really did me in, I'm exhausted.
Oh, I like that one. Do or die, a situation where you absolutely must succeed. This is do or die for the team, if we lose, we're out of the tournament.
Do the trick, meaning something works effectively to solve a problem. A cup of tea usually does the trick when I have a headache.
Nothing doing, an informal way of refusing a request. Can I borrow your car? Nothing doing, sorry.
Great, now let's flip to make. First one, make ends meet, meaning to have just enough money to cover your basic expenses. It's hard to make ends meet with rent prices these days.
Make a long story short, used when summarizing. To make a long story short, we missed the flight and had to book another one.
Make up your mind, to decide. Have you made up your mind about the job offer yet?
Make believe, to pretend or imagine. The kids were playing make-believe in the garden.
Make it big, to become very successful, especially in entertainment or business. She moved to Los Angeles hoping to make it big as an actress.
Make or break, a decisive factor that determines success or failure. This meeting could really make or break the deal.
And one of my favorites, make yourself at home. A friendly invitation for a guest to feel comfortable in your space. Come in, make yourself at home.
These idioms are so useful because they come up constantly in real, everyday conversation, much more than in textbooks, honestly.
Absolutely. And I'd really encourage listeners to pick 2 or 3 from this list, write them down, and try to actually use them this week in a sentence, even just talking to yourself, or in a journal.
Active use is what makes it stick. There I go again.
Laughs, you're on a roll today.
Okay, I think it's time for a real dialogue. Let's show listeners how do and make actually sound in a natural conversation, back to back, so they can hear the contrast.
Great idea. Let's set the scene, 2 friends, catching up on a Sunday afternoon.
I'll be Sarah.
And I'll be Tom. Olivia, as Sarah, hey Tom. What are you doing this weekend? James, as Tom, not much, honestly. I need to do some laundry, do the grocery shopping, and I promised my mom I'd help her make dinner on Sunday. Olivia, as Sarah, oh nice, what's she making? James, as Tom, she wants to make a big lasagna. I'm going to help her make the sauce from scratch. Olivia, as Sarah, that sounds amazing. I need to do more cooking myself, honestly. I always make excuses not to cook. James, as Tom, laughs, same here. But hey, did you hear? Amanda made a huge decision, she's quitting her job to start her own business. Olivia, as Sarah, wow, really? That's such a big move. Is she nervous? James, as Tom, a little, but she said she's made her mind up. She's been doing a lot of research, and she's made some really solid connections in the industry already. Olivia, as Sarah, good for her. I hope she makes it work. Honestly, I think she'll do really well, she's always been so driven. James, as Tom, yeah, I agree. Anyway, what about you? Any plans? Olivia, as Sarah, not really, I just want to do some cleaning around the house, maybe do a bit of yoga, and relax. I've been so busy at work, I haven't even had time to make my bed properly this week. James, as Tom, laughs, relatable. Well, don't do too much. Take it easy. Olivia, as Sarah, I'll do my best. Okay, breaking character now.
That was fun. But did you notice how naturally those verbs are just woven into completely ordinary conversation? Nothing dramatic, nothing academic, just two friends talking.
That's the whole point, right? These aren't advanced vocabulary words. Do and make are some of the most basic, most frequent verbs in English, and that's exactly why getting them wrong stands out so much.
Right, if you make a mistake with some rare, complicated word, most people won't even notice. But mixing up do and make happens in almost every single conversation, so it's incredibly noticeable if it's wrong.
Which is exactly why we wanted to dedicate a full episode to it.
Alright, let's test our listeners. I'm going to read out 10 sentences with a blank, and you, yes, you, listening right now, try to fill in do or make before we give the answer. Pause if you need to.
I love this bit. Okay, go ahead.
Number 1, can you please ____ me a favor?
And the answer is do. Do me a favor.
Number 2, I need to ___ a decision by Friday.
Make. Make a decision.
Number 3, she's going to ___ her homework before dinner.
Do. Do her homework.
Number 4, they ___ a lot of noise last night.
Made. They made a lot of noise.
Number 5, I always ___ my best in interviews.
Do. I always do my best.
Number 6, he ___ a huge mistake on the report.
Made. He made a huge mistake.
Number 7, what do you ___ for a living?
Do. What do you do for a living?
Number 8, we need to ___ some progress on this project.
Make. Make some progress.
Number 9, did you ___ your bed this morning?
Make. Did you make your bed? Remember, that's one of our exceptions.
Good memory. And number 10, the last one, I'm trying to ___ new friends in this city.
Make. Make new friends.
How did everyone do? If you got 8 or more correct, that's fantastic, you clearly have a strong intuitive sense already.
And if you got a few wrong, don't worry at all, this is genuinely one of the trickiest pairs in English, even for learners who've been studying for years. The fact that you're actively practicing puts you ahead of most people.
Okay, before we wrap up, let's give some final practical strategies for actually locking this in long term.
Tip 1, use their factory versus daily grind image we mentioned earlier. Whenever you're unsure, ask yourself, am I producing something, or performing an action? If you're producing a specific, countable thing, physical or abstract, lean toward make. If you're describing a general task or activity, lean toward do.
Tip 2, learn collocations as whole chunks, not individual words. Don't memorize make and do separately, memorize make a decision, do the dishes, make a mistake, do your homework as complete phrases. Your brain will start to recognize the pattern much faster that way.
Tip 3, keep a small notebook, physical or digital, and every time you hear a native speaker use do or make in a way that surprises you, write the full sentence down. Over time, you'll build your own personal reference list of real examples.
Tip 4, when you're speaking and you're not sure which one to use, don't freeze up. Just pick one and keep going. Native speakers will still understand you even if you occasionally get it wrong, and the more you speak, the faster this becomes automatic.
That's such an important point. Fluency comes from communication, not perfection. Don't let this topic make you afraid to speak.
Well said. And tip 5, the last one, listen actively. Podcasts like this one, TV shows, YouTube videos, whenever you're consuming English content, try to notice do and make in the wild. Passive exposure combined with active practice is really the winning combination.
Couldn't agree more.
Alright, I think that's a wrap for today's episode. Let's do a quick recap for anyone who wants the short version.
Sure. Do is for general activities, tasks, chores, and unspecified actions. Do the dishes, do your homework, do exercise, do a favor.
And make is for creating or producing something, physical or abstract. Make a cake, make a decision, make a mistake, make friends, make money.
And remember the exceptions: make the bed, do good versus make good, do time versus make time, and the many idioms that just have to be learned individually, like make do away with, and make ends meet.
If you want more practice, we'll put a short worksheet in the show notes with 20 more fill-in-the-blank sentences, plus an answer key.
And as always, if you found this episode helpful, share it with a friend who's learning English. It genuinely helps us reach more learners, and it helps you review the material by explaining it to someone else.
Teaching is one of the best ways to learn, it's true.
It really is. Alright everyone, that's it for today's episode of Learn English with Real Conversations. I'm James.
And I'm Olivia.
And we'll catch you in the next episode. Until then, keep practicing, keep making mistakes.
And keep doing your best.
Laughs, perfect ending. Bye everyone.
Bye.